Hello and welcome to the second video of the day. Yesterday's video with the white dwarf, I mentioned if you wanted to find out what was in this package, just come back and here it is. So what it is, I'll just open it like so. In here is a brush. Oh, okay. For some reason it's come out of the top is missing on it, but it's, there we go. And this is the best brush in the world. I've got a few of these brushes. They are here. I've got some more in places. I first looked at these brushes sort of middle of last year while I was painting my Warlord Titan over the summer. And before, I'd always had the Games Workshop brushes, and they were all right, but a lot of the time I had to fight against them. They flayed quite easily. The hairs on them just, the point went very quickly within sort of a week of using them. All of them. I just really disappointed, and it's been like that throughout many years. Don't know what it is. It might be the hairs that they use, but I was put on to Winsor and Newton pretty much by the internet, and just looking around some great brushes, and Winsor and Newton made in England, came up, and so I thought, okay, yeah, I'll buy a couple, and I think I bought the 4 and the 6. And if there are only 2 brushes you really need, it's the 4 and the 6. Yeah, you might go for a 2 or a 1 or something like that, but 4 and a 6 will do you absolutely fine. 6 is large enough to base coat, do tank tracks, wash certain things, dry brush certain things. I use this more as a dry brush one now. But the 4 is where it's at. This is the brush that I use on most of my miniatures. It's large enough to get enough paint on to cover shoulder pauldrons, gloves, weapons, things like that. It's also small enough. This will paint eye lenses, eyes. This will paint fine detail, edge highlighting, and that's why it is my favourite brush. Which is what I've got right here. Now, they're not cheap. This one here, just this brush, is £15, and that's from Amazon. I think if you were to get them in the shops, they're about £18 or £19, and it's not like it's the same price for each of them. The larger you get, the more expensive you get. I think this number 6 is about £25 or so. So it's a lot of money for a paintbrush. But if you want the durability, the quality, this is what you're best off going for. So this is Series 4, and this is my sort of favourite go-to brush, and I thoroughly recommend them. I mean, if you're investing in brushes like this that will last years rather than sort of weeks, then it's also worth getting some brush cleaner. I wasn't really a big fan. I just thought, rinsing the brush out in cold water would be fine, but this actually really does make a difference. I use the Masters brush cleaner, and all you do is you just dip your brush in a bit of water or under tap, and then just swirl it around this, and it just gets rid of all the paint, or most of the paint. The difficulty being with sort of the metallic paints that have the flecks of metal in them. That's quite difficult to get off, but still, this does a splendid job, and it really keeps your brushes in sort of tip-top condition. I mean, like I say, this brush looks in very good condition actually, and this has been used the most out of all of my brushes. It is my proper workhorse, and I use this for everything: varnishing, washing with shades, highlighting, detail, bit of base coating, base colours, things like that. So yeah, I just thought I'd unbox what was in that package and show you what it was, and give a bit of a shout out to Winsor and Newton. One thing I will say is this is what they sort of look like. So that has the number, which correlates to the size. The lower the number, the smaller the brush head. It's got the little mark, Winsor and Newton. They're Series 7 miniature. That's a important point to make, that they're miniature brushes, because they do watercolour brushes too, but they're miniature brushes. Finest Sable, England. So obviously made in England, and Finest Sable relates to the hairs. Sable is the type of sort of horsehair. So these aren't sort of artificial plastic hairs or anything like that. That's why they're excellent paintbrushes, and they last a long time. Like I said, they're expensive brushes, but it's an expensive hobby, and you don't want to be fighting against your tools at all with painting, because if you're fighting against a brush where the hairs split quite quickly, quite easily, it's just going to knock your enjoyment out of painting even more. And the happier you are while you're painting, the more motivated you are, the better job you're going to be doing on them, and probably even quicker. You're going to get more out of it with sort of better tools. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.